Here's how I ended up winning a film festival by copying a Sundance short film beat for beat. Welcome to my channel. My name is John Humphreys, aka Blade Grape, and today we're gonna look at a short film that's only one shot long that won Sundance in 2013. When The Cub came out, I was in 9th grade. I was so inspired by how wild this movie is that I copied the style beat for beat, and it ended up winning me my first film festival ever. But before we get into it, 22,600 of you saw my last video and only 3 of you subscribed. So, dude, is that right? So if you want, hit subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. It's free and it helps me out immensely. Now, without further ado, let's watch The Cub. You can skip to this point in the video if you don't want to watch the movie.
I can smell fear. That's my girl. Hello, wolves. This is my daughter. She's 5 years old, but reads at the level of an 8-year-old. She favors math and science and hopes to be a veterinarian, as well as a stunt woman when she grows up. In order to give her the best chance of success in life, her mother and I have decided to give her an upbringing no other child will have. Over the next 10 years, you, wolves, will raise her as if she were your own offspring. She will live like a wolf, learning strength, self-reliance, and cunning behavior. After 10 years, she will return to the world of the humans, where we will polish off any rough edges that may have formed and reintegrate her into society. Of course, for your efforts, you will be compensated. If this is satisfactory, please howl. Daughter, these are your new foster parents.
Daughter?
In exactly 3,652 days, return to this very spot where we will take you home. Dear mother, and I love you. Off you go. Thank you, wolves. You've returned our daughter to us stronger, self-reliant, and more cunning.
Bro.
As a token of our appreciation, please accept this premium slab of meat. You look very pretty in the dress. Your mother picked it out for you. I see you're not wearing the shoes, though. This will not do. Humans wear shoes. Anyway, we will never forget what you've done for our family.
That's it. That's the whole thing. This movie was directed by Riley Stearns, who I follow on Twitter. I didn't even know that was him that made that movie. So the movie's about a family where the mom and dad drop the daughter off to be raised by wolves. And when they return 10 years later, she kills them, stuffs them in a suitcase, and gives their meat back to the wolves. Here's 3 reasons this short film is one of my biggest inspirations. First off, I love how it uses the filmmaking form to tell this huge story that spans over 10 years of a girl's childhood. Efficient filmmaking is so impressive because it's easy to consume and really difficult to come up with, especially in this example where you're spanning 10 years of time in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I'd be super interested to know what Riley's inspiration was for The Cub because the decisions he made were super direct and super clear. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm just a terrible filmmaker. And it's easy, but I don't think this was easy. Secondly, I love how the characters are always looking into the camera. I feel like it gives the story an allegory that may or may not have been intentional from the director. When the characters are staring straight at the camera and you hear the wolves off screen, it implies that the audience is the wolves, that the general public are the wolves. And when you have this child and you send them out into the world, you feed them to the wolves, that it changes them into this jaded, mean adolescent. They probably didn't have a budget to animate wolves, so they might not have had a choice. They had to have the wolves off screen. But to me, it always implied that the audience were the wolves, and that was such a cool detail that he threw in there. And the third reason, I feel like this is a wonderful example of how you don't need $1 billion to tell a really, really good story. Riley just commits to his interesting story and just figures out how to express it in a really interesting way using the camera and using actors. And I think that's a really good example for first-time filmmakers who think they need $1 billion to make a movie come together. Now, I've been talking about it this whole time. I want to show you the short film that I made based off of The Cub. This was the first and one of the only movies that I ever got into a film festival with and won Best Picture. So shout out Riley for giving me that inspiration because, I mean, it worked. All right, here it is. I called it Roses and Thorns. Bro, it's kind of corny.
Hey, how's it going? Huh? How you doing? No? Huh? Huh? You know what? Why aren't you answering me?
Because I have a stuttering problem.
Is that it? You know what I think? I think you're just stupid.
Ooh. It's a passage of time, just like Riley did. I added a camera movement in there, though. I made it my own.
Hey, it's been a while. It's been a few hours. How's your day going so far? Answer any questions from your teachers? Anything? Huh? Huh? What then? What do you do when you go home? Go on your computer? Huh? You don't talk to your parents? What do you do? What do you do? Huh? 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 Huh?
It was a punch, by the way.
You had a big mouth. Let me tell you, I really don't think you're starting problems that big of a deal. No. Otherwise, you'd end up like him. Depends on how you look at it. You could complain that roses have thorns, or you could be happy that thorn bushes have roses.
I want to be clear, I didn't win like an international film festival with this, but I did win a high school film festival at the rival high school. I didn't know anybody there, and everybody was voting for their friends just like the Oscars do. And I still came away with the win, and it was a huge deal to me. It was like the first time, and I was like, I really, really want to make movies. I felt like I was good at it for once. I haven't watched this in a while, and one thing I think is crazy that I put together was putting the sound effects off screen as if I had extras. Obviously, I didn't have extras. It would have been way too hard for me to put together, but just like it would have been way too hard for Riley to animate entire wolves. So I'm surprised that I took this idea of just adding sound effects to imply the cool effect instead of slave over trying to get it all to work. And also, I'm really impressed that I squeezed something into 2 minutes and 15 seconds, which is even shorter than my original inspiration. Thanks, Riley Stearns. I copied your movie and it helped me win. So that's how the Sundance short film, The Cub, helped me win my first ever film festival when I was a freshman in high school. Riley, if you watch this, follow me back on Twitter at HumphreysJohn77. I would love to connect, and I would love to ask you a couple questions about The Cub because it was super integral to my experience all those 10 years ago. And looking at it from Riley's perspective, it must be crazy that he inspired some high school freshmen to make this movie. And now I'm all the way out here in LA, still making movies, making videos for a living, and his short film was one of the powder kegs that started all of that. Dude, you got me into some deep crap. Well, that's it. So, bye.